Hey, okay, so let's talk about accountability. Now, personal accountability. Personal accountability is just really being able to, there are some situations, there's some times in your life where you have something to do. Like you actually know that you have to do this thing, but for some reason, it's like you keep procrastinating, you keep putting it off. You want to do it, but like you just can't bring yourself to actually do it. It's either maybe you prioritize other things or you just feel like you don't have the time. Sometimes it will be like you are making up excuses for being lazy, but that's not the point. It usually happens to a lot of people, so don't worry, you're not alone. So the idea is personal accountability. Yeah, it just helps you to, in situations like that, it helps you to take responsibility for your actions, your choices, and your outcomes. So let's give an example. Yeah. So let's say perhaps most people are starting online businesses now. So let's just use that as an example. So let's say you want to start a successful online business. Now, you want to get into buying and selling or just, selling basically. And okay, what does personal accountability help you do? Now, personal accountability, it will help you to, first things, it will help you to draw out a plan. Like you have a goal in mind, you have a goal that you want to build a successful, emphasis on successful, a successful online business. Now, okay, where do you start from? You can get a website, build an email list, launch your first product, get the necessary contacts, information, and all that. So you draw out a plan. So now by drawing out that plan, you've become responsible for your choices. Now you have a choice. It's either you do it or you don't do it. Now, obviously, it's not as easy as said, because you have to have a certain amount of discipline to be able to carry out a plan on accountability. But the idea is, you have the plan for your personal, you have a plan for your goal, and now you begin to follow up on that plan. Now, what happens with accountability? Accountability, you have check-ins. So it's either you have personal accountability, you have an accountability partner, or you have an accountability coach or consultant. For personal accountability, you've drawn out your plan, so you begin to follow up on that plan. It's like, okay, this is what's the first thing you have to do? So let's say every week you do one thing, or every week you do two things that will get you closer to your goal. So you have maybe 10 things on that you've done your research, and these are the 10 things you need to do before you can successfully start your online business, right? So having this list of goals that you're going to follow, having this, you have a list of goals now. So having it automatically makes you responsible for your actions, because now you know what to do, how to do it, and you literally have a plan of how to go about it. So what's holding you back? Now, secondly, it also makes you responsible for the choices you make. So it's either you decide to do it or you don't decide to do it. It's either, okay, today you want to pick out your product where you're going to be selling, or you want to build your email list. It's either you do it or not. Building an email list takes time, but starting the process of building your email list, have maybe a lead generation tool, or, just that's by the way. But the idea is you are now responsible for your choices. So you're the one that decides what you're going to do. Now, the important part isn't really if you accomplish that goal or not. Important part is that you actually did everything you were supposed to do to get you to that goal. Now, life has ups and downs, definitely. And there are certain times that you will have, if you have done everything that you were supposed to do, if life presents you with a down, or if at the end of the day it doesn't work out, at least you will be satisfied with yourself, knowing that, well, I did what I was supposed to do. You will not feel like it didn't work out because of your negligence. Well, let's get back to accountability. Now, what does accountability do? Basically, it helps you to stay on track. It helps to keep you on track. It helps you to become consistent and disciplined. You have a plan. You have weekly check-ins to make sure. And then, there's something they call accountability. It's a sort of not punishment, but just penalties. Yes, it's penalties for not getting to where, or not doing that particular goal. Now, having a penalty does not mean that you should beat yourself up and, I'm so this, I'm so that. Nah, the point of a penalty is just as motivation. So you might not necessarily need a motivation. Your why you want to do that thing in the first place should be enough motivation for you. So if you want to start an online, I don't know, I keep going back to online business. Let's say you want to write a book now, and you say, well, I'm going to write a chapter every week, maybe because you have a busy schedule. So you just decide, well, every week, every Wednesday, every Friday, I'm going to, or no, throughout the week, I'm going to sit down, find some time to write a chapter. So let's say then a particular day of each week, then you sit down to evaluate yourself. You say, okay, what did I do this week? Did I get to the end of that particular task? How well did it go? The idea is, when you have weekly check-ins, it's like you were keeping yourself in check. And the fact that they are actionable steps, when you draw out the plan, you don't just draw it out with words. Well, you draw it out with words, but you don't just draw it out like that. They have to be actionable steps. They have to be things that you can actually do, and then tick it off that, well, I did this today, I did this last week, I did this the week before. And like I said earlier, your why you want to do certain things, it depends on how important that thing is to you. That's the thing with accountability. It's not, most of these things you feel like, well, sooner or later you're going to get them done. At the end of the day, you shall do it. Do you get bored? What accountability helps you do is it helps you do it, on time, and then it allows you to actually focus on the important things. Allows you to actually know, okay, because a lot of times you might digress. You might say you want to write a book now, then you go into do your research, and then you see like your favorite author has written or uploaded a new book or something, and then you just get distracted, and then that's where you're reading. Or okay, well, most people we read quickly, but let's just say you're reading, then you see another one, then you read, so get distracted. But with accountability, you have actionable steps. So once you do this, you take it off. So if you see yourself digressing, now that the plan is not rigid, it is flexible. That means you can always change up the plan if it needs changing, if it needs, it's dynamic. It's up to you to decide. But the only thing is, it helps you. Now, the thing is, it helps you stay away from distractions. Yeah. So let's say ultimately you now see that, okay, well, you take after this person and you like this person's work. That's with the example of an author, you like this person's work. So now you can now add that to your list as okay, make research on this new book by so and so author, because it will help you to, have a better edge or see a different angle on how you're going to do yours. Or let's say, one more thing with accountability is having your goals should not be just vague goals. They have to be smart goals. Smart goals are just goals that SMART is an abbreviation for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So your goals have to be smart. It won't just be, like I said, it's not just, you won't just, say, let's give an example. You won't just say, I want to get in shape, I want to lose weight, or you won't just say, I want to get in shape. It has to be specific. So let's say, instead of saying I want to get in shape, you can say, well, I want to be able to run 5 kilometers in 10 minutes, or 5 kilometers. I just as an idea, 5 kilometers in 20 minutes in the next 3 months. So now you see, now that is specific. Now you want to be able to run 5 kilometers. Like that is a specific goal. Measurable. I want to be able to run 5 kilometers in 30 minutes. It's measurable. Do you get this? That time that you have to take to do the specific goal. And then it's achievable. I mean, running is achievable. You can always get, I think everybody has a chance to, improve or you can increase or decrease in your fitness, something like that. And then it is relevant. Obviously, your health is relevant. And then it is time bound in the next 3 months. So you know that in the next 3 months, you want to be able to do this. And then, so you get the idea of a SMART goal. So whenever you have a goal, it doesn't mean your goals you have to change up your goals to make them fit into the SMART idea. It has to be specific, measurable. It's not compulsory, but whenever you have a goal, it helps to be able to break it down into those categories. When you break them down into those categories, it gives you more clarity on how the goal actually is and how you're going to go about it. It gives you more clarity on what exactly it is that you want to do. So launching a successful online business now, it's not really vague. I mean, launching a successful online business is actually a goal on its own. But then to break it down into the smart, so to break it down into that smart idea, it's when you have a goal now, maybe you say you want to launch a successful online business, you have to, whatever you want to, you have to first do some research, right? So you say, okay, let's break it down into the smart thing. Let's say specific now, okay, I know, successful online business, you want to launch a business selling wristwatches. Let's just say that you want to be able to launch a business selling wristwatches. Now that is specific, selling wristwatches. Measurable. So yeah, it's specific now. You want to be selling wristwatches. Yeah. So measurable. How many wristwatches do you want to sell? How many wristwatches does it take for you to become a successful wristwatch seller? So you look into that. You find, okay, you measure it. Then achievable. Is this achievable? Have other people done it before? Is this something you can do? One mistake a lot of us make is you do not have to reinvent the wheel. A lot of things have already been done. So you can just, improve on those things. You can take a different approach. You can definitely make yours better. So achievable. Is it achievable? Yes. That's achievable. That's SMA. But we're going to R now. That's relevant. Is it relevant? Obviously, it's relevant. A lot of people wear wristwatches either for fashion or to keep time. Well, most people don't. Well, to keep time. And then, is it time-based? So you want to launch a successful online business. What's the timeline? In how long do you want to launch this successful online business? You can say, okay, well, let's say in 1 year, how long does it take to launch a successful online business? Let's say a year or 6 months. Now, you have to do all of this in your research phase. You have to know what it is that you're doing, how you're going to go about it before you begin to draw out any plan on accountability and all that. So that's just how it is. Now, you see, you have a smart goal. Now, it doesn't mean you should make your goals fit into it, but it just really helps actually. So let's say, let's go back to accountability now. We've talked about personal accountability. Now, when you talk about, I mentioned an accountability partner and an accountability coach or consultant. Now, where these come in is, let's say there's a part of accountability that has to do with check-ins, reports. So you could have daily or weekly check. If it's personal now, you can have, if it's maybe the goal is something you have to do every day. So you can have daily check-ins, maybe every night you just listen to, okay, you just think about it, okay, what have I done today? Was I able to get it done? What do I have to do tomorrow? Well, that can be tedious for a lot of people. So most people opt in for weekly check-ins. So now weekly check-ins is once a week, you sit, and if it's personal accountability now, that's you and yourself, you sit and you do your accountability, you check, okay, what did I do this week? Was I able to get to where I needed to get to? Then what am I going to do next week? You tweak your plan if it's necessary, and then, edit it, you just change up what's necessary. And for example, now, maybe an author now, the author example, let's say an author, you want to write a book in 1 month. You want to write a 1,000 page book in 1 month. So you research and you see that, okay, you have to write a certain amount of pages every week to get to 1,000 pages and have a complete book by the end of the month. Just writing the book is one thing. Then the launch and, sales and all that is separate on its own. So either you incorporate that into one massive goal, then draw out your action plan, or let's just say you just want to write the book. Like, you just want to have the satisfaction of knowing that you have written a book, even if it's just to keep to yourself. So having weekly check-ins now. So having weekly check-ins either with yourself, for most people, the thing with accountability is you need a lot of discipline to be able to get it done. You actually need to have a lot of discipline, and it can be a lot of work for some of us, because you can just tell yourself, I'll forget that thing, I'll do it next week. Do you get? But if you have an accountability partner now, an accountability partner is a friend, or someone you trust, or a family member, someone that's really close to you, that you do not want. I wouldn't necessarily say someone you do not want to disappoint, but just someone that you can sit every week and then tell the person, okay, this is now, obviously right from the beginning you will have drawn out the plan with this person. You will have both sat down together to see how it goes, what you have to do. Then every week you sit with the person, you check in, you say, okay, this is what you were supposed to do this week. Were you able to get it done? Then for next week's stuff also, this is what you're going to do, and how do you plan on going about it? Like I said earlier, life has ups and downs. So anything can happen and you might not be able to achieve, you might not be able to do what you wanted to do. Let's say for this week now, maybe something happened and you weren't able to get the task that you're supposed to do. You're not able to get that task done. Now, obviously, if it comes to talks on penalties and all that, it does not really applicable, because I mean, it was not necessarily your fault. Where penalties can come in is if you have things like negligence, or or laziness, or just maybe you were not able to do it because of, like, you procrastinated, or you just kept putting it off until it was too late to get it done. Now, for most people, well, penalties, the penalty automatically with accountability is not disappointing that person. If you get an accountability coach or an accountability consultant now, it is a paid service. Do you get? It's a paid service, so you paid for it. I'm not sure you want to lose your money. So I think that's another motivation. Money is one of the biggest motivations that we humans have. But all in all, so was I coming back to accountability itself now? So I think you can see why it's kind of important if you have stuff that you need to get done, that you want to get stuff done, and you're not able to do it. Accountability really goes a long way to help you stay disciplined. I think it's one of the go-to tools for many experts that have things that they need to achieve, or having a lot on their plate and not being able to properly, sometimes when all the problems and all the issues and all the occurrences are in your head, it can be difficult to really put it, draw out a plan, okay, arrange it properly. But the moment you pull it out of your head and put it in front of somebody, in fact, before the person even starts talking, so both of you will have arranged it properly, and okay, this takes priority over this. This is what I have to do first to do this one. These are the little things that I have to do. Just putting things in order. Now, if you, like I said, if you have a goal you want to accomplish, or you have a task you want to get done, accountability is one of the ways to go. And yeah, do make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel, and also share it to anybody that might want to get stuff done, and they're not able to get it done, or you just really want to help me and take my content out there. All in all, it's all good. One of these days, just give accountability a try, and just see how it works for you. And I will see you next week, same time, same place, with another interesting topic. And yeah, do let me know what you think about accountability and how it worked for you. Yeah, see you next time.